My name's David Fosnot, and I'm out here to interview the head football coach, Simon Mckee. I'm just going to ask him a few questions about the season and some other things that we got going on there. So, first question I have for you today, what values or important life lessons can players learn by playing football at Remington High School that will help them not just in football, but in life?
There's a lot of those life lessons you can learn from playing football, David. That's honestly why I love coaching football so much. It's a lot more than just winning and losing football games. There's a lot of work ethic in playing football. For instance, we're out here walking through early morning and then practicing after school, and it makes for some long days. But that's one of those life lessons that can be learned playing football, is that if you want to succeed, you have to work really hard, and you got to make some sacrifices. Something else you can learn from playing football, especially on our team, is what it means to be a part of a team, how to work together to achieve one goal, and learning to do things that maybe you don't want to do necessarily, that aren't always fun, but that need to get done. There's going to be times in life where you're going to be dealt a bad hand. You're going to have to deal with some adversity. And overcoming adversity is something we like to talk about a lot as a football team and as a coaching staff. And we like to think that we do a good job of preparing you guys as football players and as adults in the real world on how to deal with those obstacles and overcoming that adversity and becoming better people from that. So that's just a little bit of what we like to hope to teach you guys.
Yeah, those are great things to teach. So, second question here. What, in your opinion, makes a great football player, and what type of football players would you like to have on your team?
Well, it comes back to hard work. A great football player is somebody that puts the team before himself, is somebody that is really unselfish, is willing to make sacrifices for the betterment of the team, someone that works hard, someone that comes to practice every day wanting to get better. And a good football player is also a leader, somebody that not only holds themselves to a higher standard, but also holds their teammates to a higher standard on the field and off the field, making good decisions and representing your community the right way. And so when I look for a good football player, I look for a lot of those characteristics: a hard worker, someone who's unselfish, and somebody who is willing to put the team before themselves. That really does it for us.
Okay. And so, third question here, question about the coaches and player relationship. I think it's pretty important for coaches and players to have a good, strong relationship, wouldn't you say?
Oh, agreed, yes.
And so, what type of relationship do you want to have with your players, and what should that look like?
Well, we talk a lot about being a football family, and so the relationship between coach and player is somewhat of a guardian. I don't want to say I'm the dad of the football family, but I like to think that I'm the guardian of our football family, and so that relationship has got to be one first and utmost is respect. That's got to be the most important thing. But after that, we want to be able to communicate, be comfortable with one another. I still have players that have graduated already from the past that still stay in contact with me because that relationship is so good. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for a relationship that is, all about respect and that sort of family atmosphere. All you players should be brothers. You should be close. And as a coaching staff, we want to be there to help you guys and be your mentors and be your role models. And that's what we strive to be.
And so, there's a lot of things that can go into, having a successful football season. So, in order to have a successful football season, to be successful, what must the team do, the players and coaches, to achieve that and to be successful?
It's so difficult to win a football game. As a player, as a former player, I never really thought about all the little things that those coaches do to prepare us to win. Number one, to win a game, to be successful, you got to prepare. You've got to practice harder really than you're going to play. You've got to be able to make sacrifices and work really hard and be consistent with your work ethic. So we try to stress that a lot. We want to be successful on the football field and in the classroom, and regardless of what you're doing, football, life, school, academics, you've got to prepare, you've got to be consistent, and you've got to work hard every single day. And if we can do those three things, we're going to be a successful football team.
And so, I'd say the relationship between, just players is also pretty important. So how do you feel the team's chemistry will be? Will it, is it good? Is it not so good? How does the chemistry or bond between players affect the team?
It makes a huge difference. Good football teams are tight-knit football teams. They are kind of an us against the world kind of mentality group. And I feel like this group has got that in them. There's some tight relationships. You and Braden Scribner and Jackson Oberst and other seniors that have been here for 4 years, you guys are kind of my babies, because my first year here was your freshman year. And so it's awesome to see you guys grow and develop into the young men you are today. And it's awesome to see your guys' relationships improve and grow throughout those 4 years. And so I think as the season goes on, we'll become even tighter and closer and even more firmly bonded. But right now I think we've got a great start. It's just going to take those upperclassmen, taking those underclassmen under their wing, making them feel welcomed, making our new guys feel welcomed. And I think we're going to have a pretty tight group this year. It's going to be a lot of fun.
That's good. And so we have a new coach this year. Can you tell us who he is and what he brings to the team?
We've got Coach Casey Goebel joining the football staff this year. He is also the head wrestling coach here at Remington High School, and so he brings a lot of tenacity. He brings a lot of that wrestling mentality to our staff and to our team, and that's going to go a long ways. I think Coach Goebel brings a lot of positives to the table. He's a positive guy. He brings a lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm. But he also played some football in high school. He's coached high school football before, so he's got the X's and O's part down too. He's someone that we can rely on to build better football players. So we're super excited to have Coach Goebel on staff. We think that he's going to provide us with a little bit more enthusiasm, some energy, and a little bit of toughness and tenacity as well. So we're happy to have him.
All right, yeah. So one last final question. This question's a little bit less serious,
Okay.
It's just kind of, I figured I'd throw something interesting in here, just to see what your answer was.
Okay.
So my question is, would you rather go back into the past to meet your ancestors?
Oh boy.
Or go into the future and meet your grandchildren?
Oh, that's a tough question.
Yeah, it's a tough question.
That's a really good question. That makes you think. I'm a history teacher. I think I'd probably go back into the past. I would love to meet my ancestors. That's a hard question though. I would love to see the beginnings of my family, and ask them some questions about their lives and what they went through. And maybe it might give me some insight to how my family got to be where it is, and maybe how or why I am the way I am today too. But that's a good one, man. That's a tough one.
I mean, I think I'd almost choose future. I kind of want to see how my kids turn out, how they're doing, how their kids are doing.
That's so true.
I mean, you'd kind of be able to see how you did as a parent, That could be good or bad, I guess.
I know, that almost scares me a little bit, David.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'm ready for that one.
All right. Well, thank you for your time today.
Of course.
Good questions, good answers to those questions.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.